Which now we can go ahead and install other items like the graphics card and all that. But actually right now I'd recommend going ahead and plugging in these little leads. These are the leads that go to the LEDs on the front of the system, as well as the buttons like the power button, reset button. This board here is very simple. It is color coded, and you would just go by what the board says, like power LED or reset switch or HDD LED, that sort of thing. I'll go ahead and install those now. I have now plugged in the cables that go to the LEDs and buttons. Now what I want to mention is that a lot of times a board that has color codes will not usually line up with the color codes that the case wires are in. And if you ever get any kind of confusion, all you do is just look in your motherboard's manual. It'll help you out with hooking these things up, which is a simple operation. On the LED wires, you have to make sure the polarity is lined up, positive, negative, for the LEDs to function. And now we'll go ahead and plug in the cables for the USB and the audio ports on the front of the case. Some cases can be a little bit tricky. The one that the Mid-Tower Deluxe is in doesn't have the cables pre-configured for you. You have to do it manually, which I don't like that. But with this particular case, it's a breeze because it's pre-configured for the standard configuration. This is the audio plug. You'll just find the audio spot on the board, which it is right there. All you do is just plug that right into place. Very simple. There's a little spot there. You can see where there's no hole. Just find a spot without a pin on the board and just plug in as so. And with USB 2 connections, the standard, well, USB 3 in this case, it's all the same. But anyway, when you're plugging in your USB cables, the typical color code on USB cables, I'm going to go ahead and show you here. You see there's a spot where there's no hole for a pin. There's on any USB hookup on a motherboard, you have a spot where there's no pin, and there's a pin for a ground. And the standard is going from left to the ground is red, white, green, black. Which, if you ever need help with something like that, you can feel free to contact me, or just look through your motherboard's manual, your case's manual if it comes with one. And when you plug a USB cable into the motherboard, it don't matter which port you plug it into. They're all pretty much the same. I'll go ahead and plug it in now. Okay, now that's plugged in. Now all the cables are plugged in, except for the SATA, which I'll get to that when I get the hard drives in. But now we're going to go ahead and install our graphics cards. We'll have to unbox them. I have 2 graphics cards for this thing. I'm going to run them in Crossfire X. Another interesting part of building a system, getting to unbox another component. This is always very fun, even when the system is going to be for your friend and not your own self. Although I definitely like these cards. I'll probably be upgrading my system to one in the near future. First, I'll go ahead and break the security seal. And by the way, if you get a product that has a security seal that's already broken, You want to check and make sure everything's included in the box before you go to install your product. That's very important. Which I always like to watch Rodney Reynolds on 3dgameman.com unbox his graphics cards from HIS. He does video reviews, and of course here lately HIS has went with having another box in a box. Pretty neat. And there she is. The HIS, what is it? It's a Radeon HD 5670 DirectX 11 card. It's got the HIS Ice-Q cooler on it. Very impressive video card. It's more of a budget model, but it's a very good card indeed. Go ahead and pull this out. Because we have more stuff under here. We have here, driver and installation guide. Do a quick little overview of the card. As you see, there's the Ice-Q cooler with the blower. It's aluminum heatsink. And here is where the heatsink blows out the hot air outside the case. Very smart design. Now it's time to go ahead and prepare the case to install the graphics card. Which I believe this case has, yep it does, it has a toolless way of installing the expansion cards. Very nice. Go ahead and remove 4 of these things here because that's how many the graphics cards will take up alone. Actually, I'll put that one back because there's nothing going to be there. Wait, actually, yeah, there will, because the switch for the cold cathode lights will be there. So I'll go ahead and pull these out. Now we'll take the first graphics card and install it into the first available PCI Express 16 slot on the motherboard. Just gently set it down in place. Very simple operation. Which, if anybody thinks these graphics cards are big, just for your information, they get much bigger. The 5770 and the higher end models are much larger. Both of the graphics cards are now installed. Now it's time to go ahead and unbox the hard drives because we'll be installing them next. Of course, these are OEM drives, so they didn't come in the retail packaging. Which, of course, Newegg.com has finally improved the quality of shipping of these drives. A lot better than how they used to do it. Go ahead and cut this tape. Like I say, I'm running 2 Seagate Barracuda 200.12 500GB hard drives and a RAID 0 configuration for 1 TB. And for this particular case, it has tool-free drive mounts for all of the drives. Can't beat that. We'll go ahead and prepare them to install them into the case. Which, by the way, don't be touching the circuit board on the bottom of the drives because you don't want to damage them. And of course, that could void the warranty. The thing I like about these particular hard drives is how they are single platter drives. So they are very thin. Very, very thin for a hard disk drive.